Hello and welcome to Nimue Summer 2022 Showcase. My name is Hannah McAndrew. I'm a skin specialist based down in South Wales, also an educator for Nimue Skin Technology, which is my chosen brand in my clinic here in Porthcawl. Every year Nimue bring us two different collections, one for Christmas and one for summer, and I'm pleased to say the summer collection this year is my favourite yet because it's actually suitable for every type of skin. And what I mean by that is you don't have to actually be at a certain point in your Nimue journey to use these products. You can use them alongside any of the Nimue prescriptions if you're one of my current clients. Or if you're not a current client, then you can safely pick any kit and it won't interact with any of your other skincare that you might be using at home then. Now obviously if you want specific advice on which kit would be best for you, then feel free to book a consultation on my website, which is www.hannahmcandrew.com. If you're watching this on Facebook, and you've got the book now button above if you scroll to the top of the feed as well. Or if you're watching on Instagram, then there is the book now button in the bio. Or you can just reach out to me by DM for advice. So I'm going to kick off then with I think what's going to be the most popular kit, purely because we've had something similar to this before. And that is the Summer Essentials kit. So this one, as you can see, comes in your Ziploc clear bag. So that's handy if you are flying anywhere this year. Hopefully you are. Lots of clients going on holidays at the moment after COVID, so that's nice that we're all getting a little bit back to normal. So in this one, you are going to be getting travel size of the Element Barrier, full size of the pre and post serum, and travel size SPF 50. Now, a lot of you bought this one at Christmas time. It was in a cardboard box and it contained the SPF 40, so this time you get in the 50, so it's even better value. So let me just run through each product individually for you then. So with your pre and post serum, let me just pop a little bit onto my hand just to show you. Suitable for all skins. It's called pre and post because it was originally developed for pre and post peels. Or any active treatment, even if you're having, say for example, laser somewhere else, because I don't offer laser, I offer peels and microneedling here, and also LED light. But basically pre and post any active treatment, the idea is you want to try and get water into the skin. One, because obviously it feels nice for hydration, etc., plumps the skin out. But also, if you think about down in the lower layers of the skin where you want these treatments to work, you want the skin to be holding water down there. You can get the skin to try to hold its own water, or you can actually artificially put the water in, which is what this serum does. Just makes every single chemical reaction in the skin happen much more effectively because of the presence of the water. So great for pre and post any active treatment, but it's also great for clients who have got dehydration. So if you suffer with something like rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, anything where the skin feels dehydrated, maybe crepey, if you get that kind of flushing effect, if you go from hot to cold, pre and post is your friend. So you can't overuse it because there aren't really any actives in this. It is just literally putting a mixture of oil and water into the skin. So it's for hydration and moisture. And as you can see, it just sinks into the skin very, very quickly and easily. And straight away you can feel the hydration, you can feel the water. It's literally like my skin's had a drink there. And there's absolutely no residue left behind, which there shouldn't be with any Nimue product anyway, apart from maybe a sunscreen or your after suns. Because with Nimue, everything is designed to go deeper into the skin than what a cosmetic product would provide. So if you're new to Nimue, obviously it's going to be slightly different to what you're used to. It is going to penetrate into the skin a lot deeper. And so if you have any questions about that, or obviously you're thinking of switching to us for your daily skincare to see extra results to what your current skincare can give you, then again, feel free to reach out to me. So you're getting the full size pre and post. You're also getting the mini travel size Element Barrier. So even though this is a travel size, a little goes a long way. They do make it in a full 100ml size as well, but I would recommend that more for if you're chronically dry, or if you suffer maybe with eczema on the body. That's what the larger size would tend to be sold for. But obviously this is a small one that you're getting in the Summer Essentials kit here. So with the Element Barrier, it's very, very similar to pre and post in terms of hydration. However, this one's more lipid or fat based. So it's more for your ultra dry skin, so things like eczema, psoriasis. It's going to give you even more moisture, almost like an emollient cream. The other nice thing about Element Barrier, let me just rub that in to show you. So it's not heavy. It does feel thicker than the pre and post, but again, it all sinks in. The other plus point of Element Barrier, apart from the thickness and the hydration, is going to be the heat protection. So if you are the sort of person whose skin goes a bit crazy when you're going from hot to cold or cold to hot, particularly in winter, you'll get air conditioning and heating indoors. You go outside, it's freezing cold, the skin can suffer from that kind of windburn or cold shock, or heat shock we call it, depending on whether you go from hot to cold. And that can really affect some people. It can really make the skin take a step backwards. It can really make the skin go quite red, particularly if you suffer with rosacea or flushing. So the Element Barrier really helps with the heat protection as well, because you've got an ingredient in there that basically helps the skin to regulate its own temperature. So that would be the plus point of the Element Barrier over, say, the pre and post. But ultimately, it's personal preference, I find, as to what texture people prefer, if they are just wanting to use it for hydration and to soothe the skin. But obviously, if you use both together, you're going to get the ultimate in protection and hydration for the skin. So we've got those two. And then we have the travel size SPF 50 Environmental Shield. Oh, upside down. There we go, Environmental Shield. It's called Environmental Shields. It's not just a factor 50. So with all Nimue sunscreens, they'll protect you against UVA and B. Brilliant, because obviously UVA is the aging ray. That's the ray that's UVA is the aging ray, that's the ray that's here all the year round, even getting through glass, you're exposed to that indoors, and that is what gives you wrinkles and ages the skin. UVB is what we're exposed to more when it's actually sunny and in the summer, and that's what burns the skin. So even though you may feel that you don't need a sunscreen every day, you do. If you're coming to me for aging, which is what I'd say over 60% of my skin consultations are about, that's just me personally, you need a sunscreen. It will be the best anti-aging cream that your money can buy, and that's why it's really important that you spend money on a good one, because a good one will just prevent all future aging. Now, obviously, you're going to age anyway. We know this is true. However, clients who wear sunscreen will age around 80 to 90% less than clients who don't. And I think that is why, actually, touch wood, I've been using Nimue for over 4 years now. It'll be 5 years coming up this winter, and I haven't actually gained any wrinkles since I've been on this routine. One, because the routine is so good anyway, the products are amazing and they stimulate collagen, but the fact that you're wearing sunscreen every day that's really, really broad spectrum means that you're not going to get those UVA damages that other people definitely will if they're not wearing sunscreen, if they're skipping it, if they're not applying it enough or regularly enough, or if they're using a cheap one. It's not going to filter out as much UVA. Now, one of the drawbacks I get when people tell me, about SPF and they don't want to use it is that they don't like the feel of it on the skin. They feel like it's too much on top of their moisturiser as well, or they go for one that's built into the moisturiser. That won't be enough protection, but Nimue, they're really, really good with their formulation. So the factor 50, I would say, is actually the lightest texture sunscreen that I have ever used. It's called Environmental Shield because you also get protection against every single other ray, so not just UVA and B, you actually get protection again against heat. So if you're one of these people who flushes a lot or has rosacea, you're going to really love the factor 50. Also protection against blue light that's coming from, say, phone screens, laptop screens, which actually ages you as well, believe it or not. So we can't get away from all of these aging rays, but you can protect against them with the Environmental Shield. For a factor 50, it's surprisingly quite light. We make a factor 40 as well, which is creamier. That is the best seller. I think if you're the more mature client with that kind of dehydration, you're going to prefer the 40. But clients who want the temperature regulation or who don't like the texture of something creamy love the 50. My skin is really oily, and the 50 is what I wear every single day. As you can see, it is super light. It's actually got it's a more liquid texture than a cream, but it actually dries to a matte finish. So I'd say that's pretty dry now. And obviously you can't even see anything on my hand there. But the texture is very, very matte. It's almost like a slight powder finish. So if you wear makeup on top, great. It's going to sit really nicely on top of that for you. So you're getting the travel size, the 20 mils of that in the Summer Essentials kit there. There are little leaflets inside each kit as well which explain how to use each product, so please don't worry too much if you forget what I've told you on the video. So I think these ones are going to sell out first, so I have quite a few of these to go round, so obviously DM me if you want to reserve one of those. And obviously every kit gives you a saving as well, so the prices will be shooting along across the bottom of the screen. Right, the second kit that I want to show you then is in the travel bag. It's the Summer Self-Care Kit. So in this one, you're getting the full retail size of super hydrating masks. That's the mask you can be doing once or twice a week to hydrate your skin, suitable for all skins. Then you've got the Factor 40 in the tinted. So you have a choice of light, medium or dark. So I'll show you all of those colours in a second. Also have the mini exfoliating enzyme in there. So exfoliating enzyme is the hero product of Nimue. Every single person will use this one because it's suitable for every single type of skin. We don't use granules with Nimue, so all of our exfoliation is enzymatic, as in the ingredients in there will nibble away dead skin. And that's just kinder to the skin overall. But I will demonstrate everything in a second to you. So let's go through the tinted sunscreen first. So as I said, it comes in light, medium and dark. I've got the light tester here to show you. So it's quite a good size. It's 60 mils and that's going to last you ages. Even though I've said before, your sunscreen and your makeup isn't enough, it is with this because it is a factor 40, and the factor 40 is coming from the fact that the pigments used in this give a sunscreen. So it's not as if we've kind of mixed sunscreen with a makeup, which is where the problems start, because obviously you're diluting the effect of both products. With this, it's like it's a factor 40, it just happens to be a different colour to the clear one, because the pigments that they've used provide the same UVA, UVB protection. So this one's going to give you the UVA and B protection, and it's basically just like a colour wash. Now I've actually put, prior to the video, the colours on my arm here, so hopefully, can we see this? So closest to my wrist I have the light, so you can barely see that there. So that would be the colour that I would go for most definitely. And they actually come up darker than what you expect. So even though on camera, we've got the blue light on me here, it's quite washed out. I find the light's actually slightly too deep for me, unless it is the summer months, which is when I would wear this anyway. So just bear that in mind. Those of you who know me in person will know how pale I am. The light would be definitely my colour. And it's actually the best seller because they do come up slightly darker than what you'd expect. Then we have the medium, which is this lovely, warm, proper bronzed colour. Definitely does not suit me, even with a tan, which, by the way, we shouldn't be trying to get a tan, ladies, because obviously if your skin's changing colour, it means you're exposed to UVA and B, but it's the UVA that ages you. And last but not least, I've got the dark furthest across here. I don't know if you can see that very well here. The dark isn't much darker than the medium, and it's actually cooler. So some people may prefer the dark, and I've got sachets of all of these, and if you want to try them before you purchase, obviously. Just going to show you what you get inside the bag then. So the full size sunscreen that I've just shown you there, the full-size super hydrating mask, and you're getting the brush to put that on with, and the exfoliating enzyme. So I'm going to talk about the exfoliating enzyme next, because if you were doing a routine at home, you'd exfoliate and then pop your mask on afterwards. If you want to give yourself like a mini facial, this is how you would do it. Now I've put a tiny little bit of the exfoliating enzyme on the back of my hand here. You've got the brush in the kit. You could actually brush this on if you wanted to. I find that helps with portion control, stops you wasting it. So you can literally brush this all over your face after cleansing. Avoid the eye. And I tend to find it works better if you can leave it sit. So it's almost like a mask as well. It's like you're going to do an exfoliation mask and then your super hydrating mask over the top. So this, as I said, nibbles away dead skin. So the enzymes that are in this are papain and bromelain, so from papaya and pineapple. They just nibble away dead skin. There is some vitamin C from orange in there as well, so obviously please don't use if you are allergic to any of these fruits. And the vitamin C is going to give the skin a really lovely brightening. So just leave it for a couple of minutes, and then at home, if you've got it on your face, I would then jump in a hot shower or get some hot water on your hand or go in a hot bath. Because ideally you want to get some heat on this to activate the enzymes that are in there. So you could just literally give that a massage in with the steam, with the heat. Give it a few minutes of massaging. It will lather up, although if your skin is quite happy at the moment, you've been using Nimue for a while, the skin's exfoliating itself, you shouldn't really have as much foam. So I tend to find with a new client, for example, if I use this during a facial, I'll get more foam. But whatever, as long as you get something, it's worked, you know. It may be that you get a tiny bit of foam, maybe that you get loads and you look like Santa Claus, you know. But either way is fine. The foam will just indicate, obviously, that the skin cells are coming off. Once you've massaged that in for a while with your heat or your steam or your hot water, then you can just use something like a hot flannel to remove that then, or if you're in the shower, just give it a really, really good rinse. So that's going to exfoliate your skin. So 2 to 3 times a week with that one. And it's up to you then if you want to follow on with the super hydrating mask that also comes in here. So you've got your super hydrating mask, and again, you can apply this with a brush. I'm just going to pop a little bit on straight out of the tube, just to show you the texture of this one. So it is a hydrating mask. We wouldn't recommend this one for acne prone or oily skin. It is more for hydration, but it's also suitable for the most sensitive skin as well. So if you have a super sensitive skin, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to use any of this stuff, you probably will be okay with the enzyme and the super hydrating mask. With Nimue, we don't overly perfume anything. Everything's dermatologically tested, as you can imagine. It is a clinical range that is suitable for even the most severe sensitive skins. So there's a tiny bit of fragrance on this, but not much. So as I say, if you want to leave it overnight, just do a thin layer. If you want to do it as a treatment, maybe apply it slightly thicker with your brush. And then again, after 10 to 15 minutes or so, you can take it off with the mitt then. So that is your super hydrating mask. And if you were doing this over daytime, obviously your sunscreen would go over the top. So you've got the tinted sunscreen in this kit anyway. So I think this one's going to be, well, this may overtake the Summer Essentials actually as the bestseller this year. I'm really excited about this one. It's the first time that we've had the tinted sunscreen in a kit. So just to recap then, these are your colours. So whichever kit you go for, obviously they're the same price, you just pick which colour. So we've got the light closest to my hand there, and you've got the medium, and you have the dark, which is quite a cool dark. Last but not least then, we have Ultimate Sunrise to Sunset in a lovely little gift cube. So this will be a brilliant gift for somebody. This one's £99. Although the saving is, well, way over something like 120, I believe. I'll put the pricing up on the screen for you, because you get in 2 full sizes and a travel size in this one. So the 2 full sizes will be the Hyaluronic Ultra Filler Serums. This one was new during COVID, actually, this launched. Booster Serum, suitable whether you're using Nimue or not. It's really good for crepey skin, aging skin, dehydration because of the hyaluronic acid in there. Also, the full-size hyaluronic oil, which I've never actually showcased on a video before. Hyaluronic oil is really, really indulgent. It's for those of you who really need the hydration. And also travel size SPF 40, because where would you be without SPF? So let me run through each one individually then. So with this one, it's in an airless pump, as all of the booster serums are. So if you're already on Nimue, you're going to be using this one underneath your moisturiser twice a day. So say, for example, you've got your cleanser, your conditioner, your moisturiser, you're just going to cleanse, condition, put 1 pump of this on, or 2 pumps if you feel like you need the extra hydration, follow it with your moisturiser and your sunscreen. If you're not using Nimue, obviously you can use this under your chosen moisturiser, that's fine. And you'll start to feel the effects within just a few minutes, the hydration in the skin. And obviously as you build it up over time, you can actually reduce the fine lines and wrinkles in the skin as well. When I first started using this one, I tended to put it more around my eyes because that's where my very fine lines are starting to appear. And I can actually see they're starting to appear more recently because I've been really run down and dehydrated, so I'm going to actually start using this one again now going into the summer. It's got a little bit of pollution protection in there as well, so it's really good if you do live somewhere that's more urban, for example. It helps the skin just to feel nice and clean during the day. So that is in the full size, super popular because of that kind of flash filling effect. You can also pop it, over the top lip, for example, if you've got a few fine lines there. Really good for, just giving an instant kind of plump out before makeup, for example, if you're going somewhere nice, which hopefully we all are now, now that all the restrictions are lifted. Then you get in the full size on the hyaluronic oil. So full size is actually only 15ml, so little goes a long way with this one. This one is a little bit more pampering, I would say, because you've got essential oils in this. So just be aware, if you have got a sensitive skin, I'd probably stay away from this one. We've actually got lavender and jasmine and rosemary in this one. It does have that kind of spa fragrance to it, but it's very subtle. It's not like it's overpowering. Just going to pop a little bit on my hand for you to see. It'd be quite good on my hand to show this one, actually, because I don't know if it's really showing up with the lighting here, but this hand is, I don't know if you can see it on my knuckle there, it's slightly crepier than the other. So actually I need to be putting hyaluronic acid on this hand. So this one's got hyaluronic acid, plus it's got the oil. So you can see this is an oil texture. I hold that up to the camera there. Very, very subtle. Beautiful spa fragrance, mind. If you like your spa products, you're going to love this one. So the hyaluronic acid basically plumps out the skin because it helps the skin to hold its own water. So this product is unlike, well, both products actually, both of the hyaluronic acid based products are different to your pre and post on your barrier, because these will physically put water in. Whereas these guys will actually attract water from the atmosphere to come into the skin, and they'll hold water there. So if you've already got water in your skin, great, it's just going to help you to retain that moisture then. I'm saying it'll pull water from the environment for you as well. Now this is very, very luxurious feeling, but again, it all sinks in. So it's not like you're going to be left with this oily residue on the skin. Although saying that, if you do have, a lot of oil on your skin, if you suffer with acne or, hormone imbalance and the skin is quite greasy, I'd probably avoid this one on the face. But brilliant for, say, for example, the neck, the chest, say the backs of the hands, as I've used it here to really plump out the crepiness on the back of my hand. So you have the full size of the oil, and you're also getting the travel size SPF 40. So yeah, just bear in mind, we don't want to get too confused. It's the factor 40 that's coming in this ultimate set, and it is the factor 50 that was in the first one that I showed you. So let's just get a little bit of the factor 40 on my hand then to show you the consistency of that one. So again, it's, as you can see, thicker in texture than the 50, which is unexpected. I think people expect the higher factors to be heavier. This one isn't. So the factor 40 is the most popular. You can see it's more of a creamy colour as well. It does feel very luxurious to apply, but it's not actually that heavy. It will sink into the skin, as every single Nimue product will. It's very, very different to what you're used to if you've not used a cosmeceutical range before. So if you're used to buying cosmetic products from shops or from department stores or online, for example, they won't have the penetrating ability of what a cosmeceutical range will have. And by that, I mean with the cosmeceutical ranges, they will go much deeper into the skin. They'll actually go to living skin cells. And the beauty of that is obviously those living cells can communicate with other cells. So those ingredients can be passed around every single layer of the skin. And also it means then you just get more results. And you can actually teach the skin to do things that you wouldn't think it could do, like reverse damage, etc. Now, we don't have too many of those particular ingredients in anything I've shown you today, because everything I've shown you today is suitable for every single type of skin, your more sensitive skins. There's not too many actives in everything I've showed you today. But if you are wanting to get really, really results-driven skincare, obviously you can book that consultation that we discussed at the start of the video. That's not to say that everything I've shown you today isn't going to work. It's just going to give you extra benefits. Or, for example, if you've not used Nimue before, it's a really good introduction. Also, everything that I've shown you today is suitable for really sensitive skins, super dehydrated skins, conditions like eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, and also I think the sunscreens, again, just suitable for everybody, just for protecting the skin. So that's the factor 40 all rubbed in there. It's got a nice, very light, kind of almost spa-like fragrance to this one, but it's not too... well, there isn't any perfume in there. It's surprising, again, with the most sensitive skins, how tolerant it'll be. Factor 40 is the bestseller, with me anyway. even though the Factor 50 has got the extra protection benefits. I think it's because the texture of it is more suited to your anti-aging, or clients who want to do the anti-aging thing, who are perhaps over a certain age and have got that dehydration on the skin. The 40 just tends to be the preference. But personally, I prefer the 50 because my skin is oily, as I've told you 1,000 times. Those of you who know me will know that I used to have horrendous acne, and Nimue is the only thing that's really sorted it out. So just to recap then, we've got the 3 different kits. You've got the Summer Essentials, you're getting the travel size on the element barrier, travel size Factor 50, and the full size pre and post serum. So that's good for absolutely everybody. Obviously it comes in the Ziploc bag, which is really good for travelling. We've got the Summer Self-Care, which is the travel bag, which has got your full-size super hydrating mask to use once or twice a week, or you can pop it on overnight in a thin layer for intense treatment then. The Factor 40, tinted, so whether you want to pick light, medium or dark, there's the colours there. And the small travel size exfoliating enzyme. You're also getting the brush, which you can use with the enzyme or the mask or both. It's entirely up to you. It's good for portion control. And then last but not least, we have got the Ultimate Sunrise to Sunset Cube, which has got your full-size hyaluronic ultra filler serum, that was a mouthful, the travel size SPF 40, which is the most popular SPF, and the full-size hyaluronic oil, so it's like the ultimate for dehydrated skins. If you want to reserve anything, please DM me. If you want a skin consultation, you're really not sure, that can be booked on the website, or if you're already a customer and just want advice, just feel free to DM me, send me a text message, for example, and I will make a recommendation for you. If you want samples of the different colours on the tinted sunscreens, those sachets are available in salon, so next time you see me, just feel free to ask for one of those. Thank you very much for joining me on this video, and I hope to see you again soon.